Johnny Boy Boxing at Fight Hype. I'm here with the young sensation, Abdullah Mason, 18-0, 16 knockouts, 89% knockout ratio with a promising future. How are you, champ?
Man, I'm great. I'm great. We got like 2 weeks left to June 7th, so just locked in cap, doing our thing, finishing up.
Definitely, definitely. Jeremiah Nakatalia. That's what you be facing on the undercard of Keyshawn Davis and De Los Santos, correct?
Yeah, yep. Jeremiah and I consider.
Okay, definitely, definitely. Now, I wanted to get right into it. You had some negotiations with Floyd Schofield, I believe, that you were supposed to face him, but he wanted 2.5 million, and that messed up the deal. I heard you guys were offering him 1 million. What was it? What was it? The details of that.
You said what was what?
What were some of the details of you and Floyd Schofield? Why that fight didn't happen? I heard he was asking for 2.5 million, and you guys offered him a million. Was that correct?
His teammate. I mean, everybody was with it. My promoter, his promoters. Everybody was with it on board, and but it's kind of clear that they didn't want to fight. Because we sent them an offer, and it was great. Great opportunity. And if you're a fighter who you know what I'm saying, you actually want to fight, and you doing what you say you want to do, or you doing what you say you doing, then you are gonna take those opportunities to get where you got to go. And I feel like he didn't want to fight me because that's the only possible reason why you would turn that down, because you don't want to fight.
You feel that he was afraid, or it was his father, senior, had something to do with that? He said that he signed a deal with Oscar De La Hoya for $5 million for 5 years. That $1 million a year, but let's say he fights 3 times a year, he's only getting paid $333,000 every fight. When he can just fight you for $1 million, and you're a big star, big name.
I mean, I can't say who it is. They both together. Him and his dad. They making they together. So whether it's him telling his dad no or his dad telling him no, they both in it together. So if they don't want to fight, they're not going to determine my career. So we gonna move on, and we're not gonna be stuck on that. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, definitely. Well, moving forward, being that this is the second time you're fighting under Keyshawn Davis, right, on the undercard.
Yeah. This is the second time.
Okay,
Yeah,
I suspect Top Rank is lining you guys up for a future date for you guys to face each other. What do you think about that? Do you see any flaws in Keyshawn's game? And I know you're a fighter. You're willing to fight anybody. But later on in the future, do you think that's a possibility?
Oh, absolutely. We both in the we both in the same division, and I just got news my last interview that I'm ranked number 2 in the WBO. And he's a champion in that sanctioning body. So it's looking very, very possible that me and him would cross paths. But that's what anybody in the lightweight division, any of the champions, Keyshawn Davis, Tank Davis, Shakur Stevenson, Raymond Murtaya, it's 4 champions, and I'm creeping up on all of them. So any opportunity that's thrown my way, I'm ready for it.
I know you're ready to fight to take that challenge right now, but how does your promoters, how does Top Rank, sometimes they take their time and they do very well. They're the best in the business and taking young prospects and making them into champions. Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya, and such. So do you trust them in that process, or do you want to just jump into a championship fight right now?
Everybody's career has a process that they have to go through. I definitely trust my team, and I trust them. They want to get me the world championship. But just because they may want to wait or anything like that, that doesn't mean that I won't be prepared. If they were to put me in there and say they were to throw me in there with a champion, I'd be ready for it for sure. And I have a great champion, a great camp, and I'll be prepared, inshallah, to get the job done and come out on top victorious. So I'm prepared, either way it goes, and I'm grateful to have, a good team around me, the best promoters, in boxing, Top Rank, and a great manager, great father, great brothers, that push me towards, better. So they put me in front of an opponent, a world champion. I'd be prepared to face him.
Absolutely. Have they spoken to you about Lomachenko, the IBF champion, obviously Gervonta WBA and Shakur WBC? Have they spoken to you about any of those things, like later on in the future, or?
Yeah, they spoke to me about me creeping up on world titles and saying they know that it's coming soon. and they know that I'm ready to face whoever. So right now they just get me to that spot, that number one spot, the mandatory list, to where I'll be able to face whoever. So you know I'm not gonna go ahead of myself and say, oh, I want this specific person, but now I'm right there, at the world championship level. So you know ranked number 4 WBC, 2 WBO. So I'm right there. So those are names I'm close to, the guys that I'm ranked to in those sanctioning bodies.
And between, I know you sparred with Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn, right? So who, out of the two, who do you feel is the better fighter? When you're
I never sparred with Keyshawn Davis, but I've sparred with Shakur. Yeah, they
okay,
both great. They both great fighters, though. They'll be worthy opponents, for me to step in the ring with.
All right. What's your message to Keyshawn, being that you're creeping up and you're number 2, coming on this title shot?
Keep doing your thing. I'm on his undercard. He gonna do his thing that night, and I'm gonna do my thing that night, and then we both gonna show out. I'm looking forward to, coming to Norfolk. I've gained a lot of fans the last time out, in Norfolk, and I feel like they're very excited to see me back, in a city, showing out, and I'm just as excited to be back. But you know, to all the champions up there at 135, keep doing your thing, and just stay focused. Like, I'm doing my thing, and I'm gonna be focused, and be working our way up.
Definitely. Do you see yourself fighting multiple times this year again? Like after this fight, do you see yourself fighting maybe one more time towards the end of the year?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And no opponent or no plans, right? We're focusing on this fight on June 7th, and then we'll worry about that when we get to the end of the year.
June 7th, first things first. Everything else comes after that. So we focus. We got 2 weeks.
Definitely. Now, you and I were both in Times Square for the event, for the Fatal Fury event with Ryan Garcia, Rolly Ramirez. What did you think about that whole event and overall? What did you think about it?
It was a great opportunity. It was something different. I feel like everybody could have performed a little bit better. That would have made the event, a little more prosperous. But it was cool.
Definitely. I think Tio had the best performance of the night. Going into that, he's in talks to fight Devin Haney, but talking about controversial things, Tio keeps using the N-word. What are your thoughts on that? And this is bad for he says it's for promotion. I think it's horrible. I think it's a wrong way to promote a fight or to promote yourself. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's the way he see things. That's what he want to do. I'm not gonna say nothing about the way he promoting. I don't condone it. I don't think everybody else condone it either. But I'm not gonna put myself in that mix. He do what he do over there. He could keep doing that. If he was in my path to fight me, then we would be speaking about it. But he not in my path, so he could keep talking with the other fighters, and they could keep doing their thing, and hopefully he get what he want. But one thing I say is if you do a lot, be careful what you wish for.
Definitely. And they're talking about him facing Devin Haney. How do you see that fight playing out based on Haney's performances last time out at Times Square?
I don't know. Styles make fights. Styles make fights. So we have to see. We have to wait till they step in there. They both good fighters. Tio sharp. He let his hands go. So either or could pull it off.
Definitely. Well, we'll be looking forward to see you June 7th. I just want to switch gears real quickly. The biggest fight of the year, Terrence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez in September. What are your thoughts? Terrence Crawford moving up 2 weight divisions, chasing greatness, chasing the face of boxing. Who wins and how, in your opinion, Abdullah?
I'm going with Crawford on this one for sure. But it's two of the biggest names in the sport. They both could fight. They both been in there with different styles. They got all the experience. So I feel like it just boils down to who has the better game plan, who's had the better training camp. And Crawford could definitely pull it off. I don't feel like this is out of his league to go up 2 weight classes. This is him doing what he got to do to be the best in the sport. And Canelo is in his way. So I feel like Crawford could pull it off for sure.
Definitely. Did you see the face-off between Crawford and Canelo? He actually was taller than Canelo. He looks bigger than Canelo. He's walking around at 180, yeah. They say. Maybe he'll be comfortable at that weight division. But if he was to be successful against Canelo Alvarez, how does he do it? You know, how does he beat Canelo Alvarez? Because he has that iron chin. Was Canelo slow in that Skull performance, his last performance? Did you see that fight?
I didn't see that fight. But I wouldn't say there's a one way to get it done. You know, like you see when Canelo fought Triple G, you know, he switched his whole game plan up that second fight, and he fought the pressure fighter with pressure, you know, and he was the one that came out on top in that second fight. So I feel like Crawford, he just got to fight smart and do what he knows is best for him. You know, you don't know what's gonna work until you get in there. You know, but you got to stick to the game plan, and, you know, and stay listening to your corner. So I feel like Crawford, he got it.
Absolutely. Well, Abdullah Mason, man, thank you for your time. I can't wait to see you on June 7th. You're one of my favorite young, exciting fighters. We wish you the best of luck. It's Johnny Boy Boxing at Fight Hype. We out.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Johnny.